Johnson Sakaja, the Nairobi governor's political turmoil season seems not to be far away from over. This follows the latest political cards that are being laid and being drawn in the table. The most shocking turn is when the Deputy President Rigathi hinted at making, or rather establishing, a working relationship with Embakasi East Member of Parliament Babu Owino, who has also shown interest to unseat Johnson Sakaja. However, a warning linked to late General Ogolla death is emerging as part of his support base, of Babu Owino's support base, is telling him to tread careful. Welcome to the Bold Analysis. And in this video, I want us to look at the new emerging trend of the Deputy President trying to court the young leaders. And of course, I'm narrowing it down to the reason why the Deputy President Rigathi is looking for Babu Owino. And I am in concurrence with part of his support base that Babu needs to tread careful. This is some time back when the DP said he wants to work with all leaders in Nairobi County for the betterment of the city.
Kutaka kujua what is going in Nairobi. And I'm going to take keen interest of the political developments in this city. Kwa sababu Nairobi is the capital city of Kenya. It is a seat of government. It is a business center of Eastern Central Africa. Mambo ya Nairobi, rais na mimi, lazima tuhakikishe inaendelea sawa sawa. Na kwa hivyo mtakuwa sasa mtaanza kutuona Mheshimiwa Elachi vile umesema iko familia, nitakutuma na Esther Pasaris mwende muwasaidie. Usaidie hiyo familia. Na tutaendelea kutembea hapa sete tukifanya maendeleo. We are going to take a keen interest in the welfare and the developments of this city and its leadership. Nairobi is too important to be left just like that. The President and I will take a keen interest in what is going on, so that tupanga in Nairobi to make sure Nairobi we restore the glory of the city in the sun. Tuhakikishe ya kwamba watu ya Nairobi wanapata huduma zile ambaye zinatakikana. And we are going to do that not because we are voters here, but we are stakeholders here. We have homes here. Watoto wetu wamezaliwa kwa hii city, tumewalea hapa, mali yetu yote iko kwa hii jiji. We are stakeholders of this city. Na mambo Nairobi kienda sawa sawa, even ourselves we are happy. Tukiona haendi sawa sawa, lazima tutafanya kazi ya kurekebisha. Kwa hivyo nobody should worry ama aulize ni nini. Why we have that interest is because we are stakeholders of this city, and it is the seat of government, the capital city of Kenya, and all of us are stakeholders in this Nairobi. Na kwa hivyo tutakuwa tukiendelea pamoja, tunangangana. Pia niseme asante kwa huyu Pasaris Women Rep mlichagua, muendelee kumuunga mkono. Mtaendelea kumuunga mkono. Na sisi na rais tumesema uchaguzi uliisha. Tutangojea ile uchaguzi itakuja huko. For now, kazi yetu ni maendeleo. Tutafanya kazi na kiongozi wowote, akuwe wa chama ile, akuwe wa chama hii, we don't care. This is a time to serve the people of Kenya, and we shall work with all elected leaders, irrespective of their political affiliation. Kwa hivyo Mama Pasaris, tutafanya kazi na wewe. Mheshimiwa Jalango, tutafanya kazi na wewe. Beatrice Elachi, tutafanya kazi na wewe. Hata hii kijana anaitwa Babu Owino ninamtafuta akuje tufanye kazi pamoja. There is no problem. Iko makosa tukifanya kazi pamoja? Si Nairobi ni yetu? Yes. Hata timu Wanyonyi tutamtafuta. We are going to work with everybody. Every leader who is elected, irrespective of his political persuasion, is our partner in development as leaders in government. Na tutafanya kazi yote pamoja, tuunde hii jiji yetu ing'are vile ilikuwa inang'ara zamani. ing'are vile hii akina mama wameng'ara vizuri. Hivyo ndivyo tunataka Nairobi ikae. Si tumekubaliana? Tuko na shida ya mafuriko kubwa sana. Mungu ametubariki na mvua. Tunafurahia mvua kwa vile imelete mazao, tumepata chakula cha kutosha, lakini imezidi na imelete hasara.
And this is the time he actually showed, he actually explained that he wants to work with everyone. And I just want to show you a reaction from someone who is actually a supporter of Babu Owino. After listening to that video of Rigathi saying he wants to work with everyone, I headed straight to the comment section to look at what Kenyans are saying. And this is what he's saying. There's some, I sampled these two comments. Babu Owino, be keen. They also called Ogolla to work with them. Now he is no more. He just realized Babu is a movement not to be ignored. And you can check that video. You can check that video on YouTube. You'll see how people are reacting. And one gentleman is telling Babu there that you need to tread careful. I don't know whether you are in concurrence with that. Now, I realized something today while at the Labor Day celebrations in Uhuru Gardens. Do you know that Rigathi Gachagua never acknowledged Sakaja in the protocol, while when Sakaja was actually speaking, when he was making his speech, he acknowledged Rigathi. And that tells you why any other move by Rigathi is very suspect.
Excellency.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, Commander-in-Chief of our Defense Forces, the Minister for Labor and Social Protection, the Secretary General Kotu Mzee Francis Atwoli, the Executive Director of our employers, all protocols observed. Good afternoon.
Asante. Asante sana. Your Excellency, our President, asanteni vijana. Your Excellency, the President, mfanyikazi number 1 wa taifa letu la Kenya. Your Excellency, the Deputy President, the Kotu leadership. Haya, tutulie. Tutulie tafadhali. Imetosha.
And what are your thoughts? And so, I just want to say something. I want to look at, to debunk some two narratives that from Rigathi Gachagua's clip, because I think that will be easy to link with the reasons why Babu needs to tread careful on this. Rigathi is saying something that he should not be questioned why he has interest in Nairobi, because they have their businesses, where they have interest in Nairobi County, because they have businesses here, they live in this place, they were born here, and they should not be told that they are outsiders. He's trying to respond to a clique of people that believe that Babu Owino, not Babu Owino, that himself is actually an intruder in Nairobi County management. And I want to debunk that notion by saying, I don't buy the narrative that Rigathi wants to fix Nairobi. Number one, that is not his docket. And of course that I will explain that later. But what I see are just people that are positioning well for what is actually in the city. I've always been saying, and if you are close to very serious investors in this city, you will be told, Nairobi is where this economy of this country is run. Nairobi is where economy of this country is run. And every president and every leader would always want to have a stake in the Nairobi county. And so I'm not fully convinced, not even partially convinced, that what the DP will be interested in is the betterment of Nairobi. Parallel to that, I might be seeing just an effort to dip your hands in whatever is going on. And and I think to our viewers, this should not be misconstructed as supporting Sakaja, that Sakaja is doing well. And of course, the real truth is that Sakaja is performing poorly. He's not met the expectations that Kenyans had on him, especially when Nairobi voters were going to vote in the last general election. You know, there was Sakaja versus Rigathi, and Kenyans really seems to be regretting that Nairobi needed some CEO, Nairobi needed some corporate guy, some manager like Rigathi. And so, Rigathi is trying to fix Nairobi? No. Rigathi is just trying to find a way of getting to Nairobi. In fact, so I'm debunking that narrative that he can better Nairobi. And what am I saying? Is the Deputy President office having a capacity on fixing Nairobi or doing something in Nairobi politics? My answer is no. Why? He said there that he wants to work with elected leaders in Nairobi to make sure Nairobi is better. And then he's mentioned Babu Owino, he's mentioned Jalango, he's mentioned I think KJ and Tim Wanyoni, who are just MPs. For heaven's sake, I just want to believe I don't know. Just explain to me in a very simplistic, it cannot be simplistic. Explain to me what is the relationship between the office of the MP and the office of the Deputy President in relation to Nairobi County management. Okay, Toata MP. How do governor come in on Nairobi County affairs? How do the DP comes in on Nairobi County affairs? Okay, fine, that office is in charge of devolution. And if it is devolution, then I learned to, if you look at the structure of our governance, if there is a leader that is widely detached by county affairs, and that is why they can only do oversight in parliament, is MP. The only person, the only leaders that works with governor are the senator, because the senator is representing the county interest in the Senate. Mama County is an MP of the county, and the MCAs, who are actually the legislators of the governor, the legislators of the county. So when I listen to the DP telling an audience that he wants to work with all these fellows to fix Nairobi, I'm a bit short of really what is his explanation on that, because it seems not to be adding up. Now, however, this is not new. And remember I said that in that statement, Raza, Sylvanus Osoro, and KJ. So he's been trying also to get to these youthful MPs. And some good observers are also saying this could be part of Catch-22 just to rival what the Ndindi Nyoro is doing on the other end. But I don't want to escalate it beyond that, because I want us to get to, and I want to be in concurrence, not about the Ogolla's link, Ogolla's death link, but I think I have a different perspective, where I think Babu must tread very careful with these political overtures from the likes of the Deputy President. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and like our videos. And I also want to remind us here, we have the floods. Almost 179 have lost their lives, with majority of victims coming from the Mai Mahiu tragedy, and the country is staring at a disaster. Off from the political statements, you will not blame your leader if your house is submerged. In fact, he will come 12 hours later. And so, My also appeal, I've been saying as the bold, in this bold podcast, we live in this society. We can also join part of the behavior change. If you live in a raised ground, if you live in a place you think it can be affected by the floods, kindly make an effort to move. Make an effort to move. And if you're driving, don't dare floods. Don't dare water. It's been so bad. I've been looking videos of how, like the video in Machakos, how people submerged, while they were just crossing a river on board of a lorry, on top of a lorry. It's very devastating. So kindly, let's also be responsible as citizens. 4 reasons why I believe Babu must tread careful, extremely careful. His popularity in Nairobi is worrying Kenya Kwanza, because without being seen as exaggerating, Babu Owino is more popular than Kenya Kwanza Brigade in Nairobi here.
Jana nilisikia Ruto akiongea ya kwamba ana pesa ya kulipa madaktari. Tunaambia madaktari, kesho mmeweka maandamano. Hiyo maandamano iendelee, kwa sababu huwezi kutuambia kama rais ya kwamba una pesa na saa yenye unavaa ni ya milioni 10. Uza hiyo saa, lipa madaktari. Huwezi kutuambia kama rais kweli ulisema, Biblia inasema ya kwamba venye alisema ya kwamba baba anafaa awachie watoto wake urithi nzuri, good inheritance by investing. Si kweli? And the same Bible says in Matthew 7:9-11, Biblia inasema ya kwamba if your son asks for bread, do you give him a stone? And if a son asks for fish, do you give him a snake? Kwa hivyo watoto wako ambao ni madaktari wameuliza, wapatie samaki na wapatie mkate, wapatie pesa. Hii Kenya ina pesa. Hii Kenya ushuru uliongeza, saizi unapata pesa mingi. Hii Kenya ulienda nje ukachukua deni, tafadhali pesa saizi iko wapi? Kwa hivyo lipa madaktari ili watu wetu wasikufe pale hospitali.
If today you were to take a ballot paper and you put Babu Owino on this side and the president and deputy president on the other side, him with his running mate on the other side, I'm telling you, Babu Owino will give them a run for their money, especially in Nairobi. Why? This is because the Nairobi population, the urban population, is the most affected by some of Kenya Kwanza policies. It's the most affected. The face of unemployment is here. The face of the ravaging floods is here. The face of any other policy is in this place. And Babu Owino has consistently and successfully cut the image of the people's defender. And so, there are two parallels. You cannot compare Babu with the rest. And so, Babu Owino, the Nairobi, his popularity here is a worrying thing to Kenya Kwanza. And any other thing that can be packaged as a working relationship that will create a leaning Babu Owino is not something that he should actually welcome. And I know very well that Nairobi vote is very critical for Kenya Kwanza's re-election strategy. They could look for Babu to try to find a way to neutralize him. In terms of neutralize his influence, there's so many meanings of neutralize, kindly. Number 2, and this one I can tell Babu Owino without blinking my eye. In 2027, Rigathi Gachagua wants a Kikuyu as a governor in Nairobi. You do not need to be a political scientist to read the signs. That is what Rigathi wants. And I can tell you all this, if you read somebody's speeches, and even not far, the current UDA chairmanship race between Sakaja and Gakuya, Gakuya is being fronted by a Kikuyu Access, which is patroned by Rigathi Gachagua. And so, someone should not even lie to you and should not even get to that trap that we are going to support you. Rigathi knows very well that Babu wants to be governor in 2027. He knows it. He knows it. And he also knows very well that it is it is highly possible for Babu Owino to snatch that seat from Kenya Kwanza, the next general election. He knows it. Is a very big potential. And so that's why I'm saying, what can be easy here if, and I know he cannot fall into that, but he dare fall into that trap and fall under Rigathi Gachagua, he will not hit government, and that's how he will lose his support base. And in fact, even if he's to be given a running mate, that's why you need to pick. In any case, you get a running mate and the governor is impeached, or a governor loses the seat, who becomes the governor? The deputy. So we have to get it very right. I think on this one, I've really made my point very clear. Together once a Kikuyu in 2027. And that is exclusively for 2032 transition. When you get a leading governor, that's where you will be able to run your stuff within Nairobi and campaign easily, and also be in a position to get a leading team. Number 3, there is something called generational transition happening. That transition is going to be occasioned by 2 things: the exit of Raila Odinga and also an imminent exit of William Ruto. When Raila leaves, Raila is going to leave in 2027. Whether he vies or not, he's going to leave the scene in 2027. He's not going to leave the political scene, Kenyan political scene, actively in 2027. And if Ruto transition ends in 2027 or 2032, he will also usher in a new team. Now that team is a big headache to Rigathi, because Rigathi wants to be president after William Ruto. So the Babus are a threat to him. That is why he would want to, remove everyone that will emerge as a threat. So much as this has to be seen on that. Lastly, and this is a very strong point to Babu, you belong to the ODM battalion of Joho, Junet, and Sifuna. Any association with Rigathi is a clear point of deflating you very fast. And I also see this is a card against that Junet Joho battalion. Junet Joho Sifuna battalion. There was that. Remember, even so, there is even another one that is even including Gadono Muchomba. So I am still holding my position that no. On this one, carefully, you must say no. Thank you.